Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our next matchup for UFC Vancouver. In this one, we have Stephanie Luciano taking on Ravena Oliveira. Luciano is 6-2-1 as a professional, 3-1-1 in her last five fights. Ain't that right, Kitty? Meanwhile, Oliveira is 7-2-1 as a professional, 4-1 in her last five fights. For Luciano, she had drawn with Talia Aluncard, then fought her in her UFC debut where she won the rematch, and then most recently lost the decision to Sam Hughes back in March. But it's Sam Hughes, the prospect killer. So real no shame in the match in the loss, and I do see Luciano getting better as time goes on. Meanwhile, for Ravena Oliveira, she lost her UFC debut to Tainar Lisboa, which was a bantamweight fight. So this is going to be Oliveira's debut at strawweight. What's interesting about this is she's been a career women's flyweight and a career women's bantamweight, more so the flyweight than bantamweight, throughout her entire career. It's not like she's small in any of these matchups like Andrade was. Um, Ravena Oliveira has some muscle to her, so she's going to be cutting a lot of weight to make 115 pounds. So I'll be very interested to see how she looks on the scale leading up to this fight. As for right now, it's kind of more or less a mirror matchup again with like the other one with Cronin versus Lisboa. Both Luciano and Oliveira fight a very similar way. They're both primarily finishers, more or less. I'd say Oliveira seems the better finisher, but in comparison to being a finisher on the regional scene and then get to the UFC as a different ball game. But for what it's worth, Oliveira seemingly has pretty good power, some good submissions as well, and overall it seems like a well-rounded threat. Again, though, that's not the UFC level, so we haven't really seen. What we have seen so far is her lose to Lisboa via decision, where Lisboa seemingly was a better grappler and better striker than her. As for Luciano, besides the loss to Sam Hughes, like I said, beat Aluncard where she showed improved game planning as well as just overall better takedown on defense and really good striking. That was the main problem, though, her getting mostly out wrestled by Sam Hughes. But even then, I thought Luciano showed some pretty good takedown defense in that fight. At times, was able to reverse position. And I thought has some good striking moments against Sam Hughes. It's just Sam Hughes refuses to quit. So that was the big thing, as well as just having a better gas tank. I don't know if the gas tank problems will happen in this fight, as recently Luciano has shown she can fight a good 15-minute hits, so I don't really see that being an issue in this fight. Granted, I don't think Oliveira's gonna gas out anytime soon. I can't see her slowing down a bit more than Lucindo, especially considering she's the fighter moving down a weight class. I can see that affecting her gas tank a lot. Question then becomes, though, how will the shorter woman's skill set be a factor? That being the fighter moving down a weight class, now fighting a much more skilled fighter, as typically how it goes is the lighter the weight class, the higher the skill. In comparison to the heavier the weight class, the better the attributes are. So with this one, will the natural straw weight be able to beat the flyweight moving down? Ironically enough, you look at the physical stats, Oliveira is 5'5 with a 65-inch reach. Luciano is 5'6 with a 66.5-inch reach. So, ironically enough, her stats make her seem like slightly bigger. I mean, literally by an inch, so really what does that mean? Not much. But, I don't know, something I find a bit interesting. Honestly, a lot of what I'd see this fight happening to is mostly being contested on the feet. And then I would see more so Luciano than Oliveira going for a takedown and having some grappling success, but I wouldn't be shocked if Oliveira goes for the grappling herself. I mean, it is an MMA fight. Overall, though, I gotta go with Stephanie Lucindo. I don't think Ravena Oliveira is honestly not anything spectacular. I don't even think she's that good. And I just think Luciano has shown an improvement to her game. I mean, she fought to a draw, then she won the rematch, and then fight with Sam Hughes was a split decision and relatively close. While Oliveira fought Lisboa and got, I thought handily lost that fight. And styles make fights and all that, sure. But she's now moving from women's bantamweight to women's strawweights, and I guarantee you the strawweights are much, much more skilled than the women's bantamweights. And I just think that's going to happen again. I think the smaller weight class is going to show a much different level of speed, skill, and overall technique than something Oliveira's ever fought before. And she's never fought in this weight class either. Not even just thinking, okay, she's going to cut down to this for the first time. How does that affect her gas tank? She's never fought at this weight class before. So she's going to be introduced to a new level of speed and technique that I don't know if she's ready for. Plus, I can see Luciano being the better, well-rounded fighter, getting in her grappling attack much better than Oliveira. Her striking, I think their striking is roughly even. I think Oliveira is a bit better of a finisher, better killer instinct, might have a bit more power, but Luciano has pretty good technique to, balance that all out. Odds-wise for the fight, minus 370 for Luciano, plus 265 for Oliveira. Big, big favorite for Luciano as a 3-1 favorite. I guess it makes sense. She has a bit more UFC experience and seemingly overall a better fighter. Granted, this Oliveira fight to Lisboa was roughly about 2.5 years ago. It sounded like a record player on repeat. But with that being said, I got to go with Stephanie Luciano, and I think she's going to win a decision, 30-27 probably. I just see her as the better overall fighter, better well-rounded fighter for sure, and possibly the more skilled one of that. But with that being said, that has been my breakdown for this fight. If you liked the video, comment and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matchup. Next up, we'll have Kyle Prepolek taking on Drew Dober. But until then, I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Take care.